Well, Kevin and Jessica are on the brink of divorce because she says she'll do anything to find treatment for her autistic son, who's 4 years old, even if it means going bankrupt, if it means moving away from her husband, Kevin. And listen, there are so many mothers around this country and world that are watching this right now that are saying, God bless you and you go, girl, because you are standing up for your son. You are saying, I will do whatever it takes. And I, too, applaud that. I do. But he needs a mother, not a martyr. He needs a father as well. And you have a daughter in here. I don't want you to sit there and have something on the other side of the fence that could really help Aiden and not avail yourself of it, but there are right ways and wrong ways to do this. Dr. Frank Lawless is joining us via Polycom right now. He's actually the chairman of our advisory board here. He's the author of several books on behavioral issues, and he is well into a very interesting book right now called The Autism Answer that will be available very, very soon. Dr. Lawless, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for asking me. I'm very excited about this issue.
Talk a little about the disorder first off.
One of the biggest problems in terms of dealing with autism is the chaos of information that's really out there. There's no sense of order. There's no sense of what to do first, what to do second. So consequently, parents are basically in a panic-stricken state trying to find out some answers. So, you know, what do you do? What's true? What's going to work? And they don't have a plan. And that's the reason why I wrote this book.
All right, and the whole point here is you're spending a lot of time on the internet because you're just wanting to be a sponge. You want to soak up every bit of information that you can, but you've got to filter that in some ways and make sure that you are choosing those things that have some scientific basis, some things that fit your particular situation, because this isn't a one-dimensional disorder. It's unique from child to child.
And I tell you, I sit here 20 years married. My son now is 11 years old. He's had autism, been diagnosed since he was 2. And it has been the thing in our lives. My husband and I brought us together. We would not let it pull us apart because we knew our son needed us, we knew our other 2 daughters needed us, and we used the autism to go out, help other families, and to make our family stronger. And I know you guys can do that too. I know everyone out there with a child with autism, you can do that as well.
Well, I want to add another story to this conversation, if I can here. We first met Caitlin and Joe when their triplets were just 6 months old. The chaos in their home was affecting their marriage back then. Now their kids are almost 2, and there's more to add to the story. So let's introduce them by this tape, and then we'll all talk.
Hi, Dr. Phil. Since last being on your show, 2 of our triplets got diagnosed with autism, and unfortunately this emotional and financial strain has caused an even greater burden on our marriage. As parents, we feel trapped in a position where we can't adequately care for our boys' special needs. One of our constant recurring issues is we each feel like we've given 110% and that the other one hasn't. Can you help us?
Well, Caitlin is joining us via Polycom video right now. She's actually there in the room with Dr. Lawless from Dallas, Texas. Her husband, Joe, is joining us on the phone as well. So Caitlin and Joe, thank you so much for being here. It's good to talk to you again. Caitlin, what's the biggest challenge you've got here in dealing with this?
One of the big things is right now communication, because we each feel like we're giving so much, and at the end of the day, we just have nothing left to give back to each other. I'm having a hard time asking for the things that I need because I'm so irritated at all the hard stuff I've done throughout the day, and I'm approaching him in a really angry way, and it's obviously not getting the results that I'm wanting it to.
Now, Joe, you know, you and I know each other. We've talked before. You don't underestimate the challenges here of well, you know, first 3 children, but certainly 2 with special needs here. You don't underestimate that challenge, do you?
Oh, no, not at all. And I think my biggest concern and where Kayla and I have a lot of conflict is that I'm really worried about her. I mean, I've seen the work that she puts in I've seen how dedicated and how committed she is to the kids, and honestly, it worries me that one day she's not going to be able to take it anymore, and that puts a lot of stress on me, knowing that my wife is so stressed out and is working so hard to take care of our boys.
But are you two willing to negotiate a division of labor here that enhances this, so she does have the help she needs to not be a burnout case?
Yeah, I know I am. It's just I think getting to the point where we can communicate well enough to make that division happen and to keep it working is where we're having trouble.
Right. All right, well, we've got to take a short break here. Caitlin says that with all of this fighting over her kid's autism, she's forgotten how to be a wife. And, you know, Areva and I have both been saying you can't let the family fall to the wayside because of these challenges, because it's a resource you need. I'm going to talk about that with both couples, and Dr. Lawless is going to stay with us when we come back. Well, Caitlin and Joe are parents to these adorable triplets. Now, two of them were recently diagnosed with autism. Also here are Kevin and Jessica, whose 4-year-old son, Aiden, is autistic. I've got two great experts with me here. Areva Martin, attorney from Harvard University, has written The Everyday Advocate, has an autistic son herself. He was diagnosed at the age of 2. And Dr. Frank Lawless is with us, and he is in the works on what I think is going to be one of the most important books to come out involving autism and the families that have autistic children in them, called The Autism Answer, and he's joining us via Polycom video from Texas. Caitlin, let me ask you a question. You said you're kind of forgetting how to be a wife. Of course, I don't know when you have time. I mean, you've got triplets. 2 of them with special needs. Joe works crazy hours in his job because the shifts change and all of those things. It's very difficult to do, but you realize this is something you have to put on the to-do list, and you've got to negotiate a different division of labor, right?
I have been so focused on trying to get my children the help and the resources that they need to lead a typical life that I haven't been able to focus on my marriage, because 110% is going into getting them what they need.
Yeah, and right now, you're shaking your head yes, because you get it, right? You say, boy, you talk about birds of a feather.
Yeah, he works a million hours. Everything's on me. I mean, she said she does the bills. I do all that. I can totally relate to that.
There's a threshold decision that I'm going to ask you to make here. I'm going to ask you to not be so quick and ready to say it's either or. It's either my family or my son, because let me tell you, that's not all good. You say, okay, I'll just take him and go where I think those services are. If you think that doesn't come with huge complications and problems, it comes with huge complications and problems for you and for Aiden. Dr. Lawless, you're not at all pessimistic about the future here with regard to the resources for managing this autism.
Absolutely not. I'm very optimistic because I see these children get better day by day. I see these kinds of events that just take place in a magical way if you have a plan.
Let me just put you on the spot right here with regard to Caitlin and Joe and Jessica and Kevin. It seems to me with this new book and the work that you do with us on autism that a couple of exemplar cases would be just really excellent for you. And I wonder if we flew Jessica and Kevin and Aiden to Dallas to the P&P Center there, if you would roll your sleeves up and bring this cutting-edge technology to bear in Aiden's case to help her filter through everything that's going on out there and take this on, and do the same thing with Caitlin, who's right there with you.
Absolutely. I would love to do that.
That's the thing. What I want to do is send you there, let you sit down with that team, and let's get rid of all the chaos. Let's target this with this individualized look and find out exactly what we need to do to maximize and see how you feel about all of that. Okay? All right, Caitlin, fair enough?
Absolutely. What a huge blessing, Dr. Fell. Thank you so much.
Let's put, he's the guy. He is the guy. Let's put him in y'all's corner, Kevin, and let's see if we can make some progress here. Let me say, too, many parents of autistic children credit Leapfrog products like the tag reader with helping their children learn to read. So I want to send both of you families home with $1,000 worth of toys from Leapfrog. They're the leading educational toy company, so that'll help as well. We'll be right back.